Welcome to Creator's Head Studio. I'm Tom Arcu, feature film producer, director, screenwriter, and novelist.
And I'm John Colton, creator of ColtonComics.com and writer of Paul Bunyan versus Dracula.
We're going to talk about the film Michael and how Critical Drinker says the critics are wrong. Also, we're talking about Michael versus Project Hail Mary and avoiding a massacre of comics and movies. About the film Michael and what the Critical Drinker said, John, you sent me a text. I'm reading it right here. Of course the drinker is right again. The Grand Canyon of distance between the critics and the audience tells you everything you need to know. And I type back, which is, on Rotten Tomatoes, 39% for the critics and 97% for the audience. I then asked, how are the critics wrong? Because the audience got exactly what they wanted. So I remember what the great science fiction writer Isaac Asimov said. He said, I would write merely clearly, and in this way, establish a warm relationship between myself and my readers. And the professional critics, well, they can do whatever they wish. We're talking art here, and everybody gets to choose what art works for them. Now, recently I've seen a couple of the old videos of Michael Jackson in his prime. And the thing is, his family, the artists, the dancers, the music, all of that was art, and people want to celebrate that accomplishment. It wasn't just Michael Jackson, it was all the team that helped him accomplish that art and bring that life to people. And this is what people, primarily people between the ages of 18 and 34, are celebrating, and they're showing up for this film. So as you said, John, this is a film in which the audience got what they wanted. And we can have all kinds of films. If you want to see a documentary about the controversies of Michael Jackson's life, see a documentary or read a book. But if you want to celebrate the art and the liveliness and the choreography and the energy and the power of the music and what the musicians have accomplished, you might see the film. Project Hail Mary avoided a massacre for comics and movies. You liked the film, didn't you, John?
Yeah, loved it. We took the whole family, and it was, the first of that type of movie that you could do that, and go in with confidence, knowing that everyone was going to have a good time.
Gotcha.
I think it was the first time we did that since Top Gun Maverick.
Wow.
And that was off of the recommendations of Critical Drinker, who, said it was one of his recommended movies.
Now, you mentioned Critical Drinker. He just came out with a video that said that Avengers Doomsday
is basically, I think, make or break for Marvel Studios.
Right. And that's what we're talking about here. He's noticing it. We're noticing it, that really the studios have got to open their eyes, because otherwise we've got a big mess, or what we call a massacre, for comics and movies.
Well, I think the success of Project Hail Mary is kind of a return to form for Hollywood, in terms of a lot of the great classic films were based on classic books.
Right.
And there's no way to write a book without putting the story and characters first.
Precisely. So I want to ride with what you just said. And I work with clients and I teach classes and all that kind of stuff. And what I notice is this. I really feel that you got to really focus. And so I have a word. I say hat. And I say there's these three things that you got to do to get a good story, whether it's comics, it's movies, it's a novel. By the way, I read the novel back in 2021, Project Hail Mary, and I thought it was good. And so I'm glad it's here now. So I say hat. Three things. First, heart-centered ending. So would you say that the ending of Project Hail Mary, you felt good? You felt something?
Yeah, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. What was great about the movie is it has this great sound effects and music at times, but then there are parts where there's absolute silence. And in the parts where there was silence, you had a packed theater and everyone was holding their breath.
Wow.
And you could hear a pin drop.
Right.
Bing. So, I mean, there wasn't anyone slurping their soda or crunching their popcorn or shuffling their feet. Everyone was just perfectly still. the whole audience holding their breath.
Right.
And it just made that silence that much more ferocious.
How
Because
about that?
those were the suspenseful parts of the film,
Right.
where you're wondering, oh my gosh, what is going to happen next?
Yes.
And then cut to silence. And to have it work like that, it's a real thing of beauty. It's the total theater going movie experience.
Yes, that's excellent. I really appreciate what you just said there. And it ties in with what I call the A of HAT, which is advance with power. Suspense means you put things in that people care about. You put things in that people want to know what's going to happen next. So you have to advance with power. Now, the reason why I bring this up is a lot of writing nowadays is happening where people are writing in modules and they say, oh, we're going to be really clever. At the end of the story, it's all going to come together, but we'll give you this module, we'll give you that module. Every module has its own little thing that happens. But if the whole movie doesn't push towards an ending, and the ending has to be inevitable, it has to be an ending where you say, oh, that film, there's no other way it could have ended because everything was designed. So it's called artistic unity. It's got to be designed to push. So you advance with power. And that's how you get to that heart-centered ending. And you mentioned something earlier too, which I like to say T of HAT is true characters. A lot of things are being made right now, and it's very easy for anyone to press a couple buttons and try to get some help. People are saying that AI is their thinking partner. Well, if AI is just copying everything that happened before, you're not going to have the power because it's not going to be unique, it's not going to be personal, and it's not going to be feeling. True characters, not just these like containers that just move the plot along, but actually characters that we root for and that we want to see succeed. Now that I've talked about HAT, let's see how Michael, the film, for audiences might line up. H, heart-centered ending. Well, everybody celebrates with that ending. So it moves the heart. Advance with power. Well, there was an intense villain that Michael, in the story, in the film, had to get his release, his freedom from, his father. And then true characters. Well, we definitely had characters. We had Michael, the artist, who needs freedom, and we had the villain, the vicious father, who had his claws on Michael and the rest of the family. Apparently, for the audience of mostly people from the ages of 18 to 34, they felt that that was true. Many of them are probably feeling pushed by parents themselves or guardians. So the idea of having something to push against, that was something that felt true to them. And they wanted to see Michael get his freedom. You, the viewer, there's something that you want. Some way you want to shift your life to another level, to a higher level. And you're probably not accessing a part of you, a power that's hidden inside you. And this is a power that John accessed when he got his first comic book out there. And this is a power that I've accessed when I've made feature films. It's this power to communicate and build your circle and build it based on trust. Get people to trust you and want to work with you and want to help you because one individual is stoppable, but a community is unstoppable. Community conquers with hope, kindness, and resources. And that's what my course can do for you. Help you create that trust, help you communicate so well you build your circle. My course is The 7 Secrets of Your Unstoppable Power. I've worked with so many audiences, thousands of people, thousands of students, over 5,000 students.
And it was the most delightful and entertaining and knowledgeable presentation I've ever had the chance to listen to.
He's very skilled.
I'm excited to tell you that I just won the grand prize at the Igniter Summit here in Bangkok, and my heartfelt gratitude to Tom Marcoux for giving me those essential tips.
Plus some new ideas that are sort of more modern and 21st century.
It was amazing. It has helped me solidify my thoughts. I feel like I have a better process now.
Really, really helpful, and I would recommend that everybody take a workshop with Tom. It will help you so much.
My best material is in this course. You'll be able to solidify relationships and to protect your team, yourself, and your family. Get this opportunity right now.
Yeah, I came across a tweet on X by Orson Scott Card today.
Oh.
And he was talking about the feedback that he was getting on Ender's Game. And it had basically been rejected by everyone except for a couple of editors, right? And one of them told him, you need to cut the book in half. It's too big,
Oh,
which seems ridiculous in
Right.
today's day. There was another editor who told him, you need to change the title
huh.
and you should call it Professional Soldier.
Wow.
And,
Oh,
right?
that's
Right.
memorable. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
going to sell, right?
Oh, yes.
That's,
Professional soldier. You're selling a manual.
but-
You're not selling a story. You're selling a manual.
and those were human experts.
Right.
So how much worse is a robot that's reading the algorithm
Right.
going to be with their feedback? And he decided to go with his gut
Yes.
and, and stick to his story and his characters. And the world is grateful.
Yes. And I've read some work by Orson Scott Card. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, I think it's just great that Hail Mary has been so successful, maybe lighting a fire to some studios that are going to go searching for some more science fiction and something that is original, something that audiences haven't seen before. And let's hope that we get to see more of that.
You pointed out to me that the alien is named Rocky and
Right.
the planet is named Adrian. Adrian! Oh, and by the way, this is a little plug for Sylvester Stallone. His book called The Steps is coming. It's about the making of Rocky.
That human creator instinct
Yes.
that writers and creators have to know that this idea, this is something that, that I believe in. This is something that people want, that I've been craving, and I bet other people have been craving. Kind of how I feel about Three Brothers Gruff on FundMyComic.com right now.
And it's doing well.
And
Yes, and you, viewer, you could be part of this.
it's just about kind of, sticking to your guns.
And it helps if Ryan Gosling is playing your character. Thank you for being with us. Please like and subscribe. Also comment below, and we'd love to see what's working for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.